Hi, my name is Debbie Kravitsky. I'm the registered dietitian here at Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. Before we can learn anything about nutrition, it starts with mindful eating, or that dialogue inside your head. You really need to know why it is you want to make a behavior change. So in order to answer that, you have to ask yourself, what are your goals? Why is it that you want to do this? And what are you hoping to accomplish? The other thing that you need is you need to know that you can make a behavior change and that it's worth it for you to do so. I always say, once you make it to cardiac rehab, it's such a great sign. It means you got a mulligan, you got a second chance. And how often in life do we get a second chance? But you did, because you made it, you're here, and it means that you're well enough to start the healing process. Anytime you end up in a hospital bed, it does throw you a bit, does it not? We're used to visiting people in the hospital, but we don't really visualize us being the one in that bed. And now all of a sudden, it was you in that bed. And it does throw you a bit, does it not? So you really need to understand that and appreciate that life is fragile and that this is Broadway, no dress rehearsals here. So you don't sweat the small stuff anymore. And you make every day great. My mother used to say, every day you wake up, it's a great day, because you woke up. How could it be bad? And don't you appreciate that even more now? So what are you going to do with this mulligan, this second chance that you just got? Hopefully you use it as a springboard to go forward in a better way. People say to me often that they don't want me to get the wrong message. This wasn't anything they would have chosen, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to them, because they never would have made a change. They never would have got it. But here, you've got this opportunity. And I totally understand when people say this to me. So now that you got this second chance, it's important to go forward in a better way and to have a very clear idea of why it is that you're doing this, and to have the confidence to know that you can, and to know that it is absolutely worth it. Now, each one of you, your goals will be different. So let me share with you my goals. I've always wanted to live to be at least 100. I think it would be such an interesting perspective on life. But like many of you, I don't want to just live longer. I want to live longer well. So there are two caveats to me making it to 100 years of age. And that is, one, I have to have my freedoms. If I walk or don't walk, I frankly want that to be my choice. I don't want some cardiologist telling me that I can't because my heart can't take it. And I also have to have my faculties. As much fun as it would be to meet new people every minute, I have to know who I am. So if those are my goals, then my Fidelity Green Line, it's pretty clear. I know exactly what I need to do to get there. If we are what we eat, I know exactly the path I have to go on. But think about what your goals are and what you need to do to reach those goals. It's important, I think, in order to make a behavior change, you need to have two things. One is you really have to like you. This takes a lot of time, attention, and energy, all directed towards you. That might not be the way you're used to operating. We used to give to friends, we're used to giving to family, to work, to everyone else, and we tend to drop to the bottom of our priority list. We think we're doing right by everyone else, but we're actually building a house on a cracked foundation, because if you get sick, the whole thing goes. This will be hard work because it requires restructuring. I need you to put you at the top of your priority list. That's where you shall be and where you shall remain. It's not selfish, it's prudent. If you've ever flown in an airplane, they tell you that if the oxygen masks come down, you put that mask on you first, because only if you take care of you can you take care of everybody else. So I need you to put you at the top of your priority list, and in order to do so, you have to feel like you're worthy of this kind of time, attention, and energy that you deserve. So I want you each to think of at least two reasons why that's so. Two reasons why you're worthy of this kind of time, attention, and energy. It might be that you're hardworking, you're loyal, you're dependable, fun to be with, whatever your reasons. And every morning, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to look in the mirror and say, I am awesome because. So it isn't that you couldn't have 3 gallons of this or 5 bags of this. It's that you like you so much that you wouldn't treat yourself any other way but to give yourself the best. The best in terms of fuel will be to include foods high in fiber and or whole grain, and to include the right type of fat for its effect on cholesterol. This is never an issue of deprivation. Rather, it is always a matter of choice. It's because of you and what you want for you that you absolutely know what to do and how to navigate this. And it's because you like you that you can acknowledge and validate your feelings. If you're sad, you're sad. And if you're happy, you're happy. This is about communicating with yourself. So I want you to really have the courage and the honesty to be able to look at things that are perhaps getting you stuck, so that you can realize that some things, they just are what they are and can't be changed, and others you absolutely can change, but you can deal with them because you like you, you've identified that already, so that now you can lift yourself up, get yourself unstuck, and move forward in a better way. So in order to do that, it's interesting to understand the connection between eating and emotions. If you came home at the end of the day, maybe you're hungry, maybe you're tired, maybe you're stressed or bored, maybe you've been watching the news and you totally got stressed, or you have to do something, you don't want to do it, and eating is a much more fun activity. And you take a look, and there on your counter are some cookies. People have been baking a lot lately, so you have some cookies, or maybe there's a loaf of French baguette, and so you eat it because it's there. Well, in that minute, gosh darn it, don't you feel better? You get a little rush, a little release, a little buzz, because it raised a neurotransmitter in your brain called dopamine, and dopamine gives you a high. When somebody gets hooked on cocaine or heroin, they do so for this rise in dopamine. And what's interesting is food does the same thing. And the more multisensorial the food, the greater the rise will be in dopamine. So let me explain to you what that means. It means if I give you a food that's room temperature, I got you on one cylinder. If I change the temperature, I make this food hot or cold, I got you on another. I add texture to this food, like chocolate chip ice cream. Heck, I just got you in another. Now I'm going to add an advertising image, a glossy link, a fond memory, a time in your life when you ate this food when you were happy. Heck, I just got you on all four. But just so I don't leave it to chance, I'm going to bombard you with this food on all four street corners. Heck, you can't help but be drawn into the rush. And by the way, it's right there on your kitchen counter. But this was not the high you're looking for. You're looking for the high from exercising and letting those endorphins roll. You're looking for the high from giving yourself good, clean fuel. And when you give your body the nutrients need, you feel it. You feel that you're running on clean cylinders and you have more energy and your mood is better, your outlook is better. And you're looking for the high from knowing that you got a mulligan. I mean, I really shouldn't have to go higher than that. How often in life do we get that second chance? But I'm gonna. You're looking for the high from knowing instead of getting older prematurely biologically, you can regress the plaque and get younger. It just doesn't get higher than that. So you close the freezer door, you throw away whatever it is, and you say, no way, no how, not happening, not to me, never ever again. I'm taking it back. I'm moving over from the passenger seat where I played victim, reacting to everything around me with food. I'm coming to the driver's seat to take control because nothing is going to taste better or feel better than that. I'm taking it back. This is about going on a journey of self-empowerment and self-discovery. It is so exciting for each and every one of you, and I'm so thrilled to be able to go on this journey with you. Because you like you can handle your feelings. And you can handle feelings of being a little uncomfortable. So if dinner is in 5 minutes, you're starting to get a little hungry, but you're not ravenous or out of control. I want you to wait and sit with that as you start to teach yourself when you need to eat and when you don't. Because now that you understand that you have confidence in you, that I want you to ask yourself the hardest question of all. And that is, am I really hungry? Or am I tired? Am I bored? Am I frustrated? Do I have to do something I don't want to do? I'd rather eat. It's a much more fun activity. Because if the answer is, I'm not really hungry, then I want you to construct a list of alternative activities that you can do other than eating. So think about these. If you're tired, perhaps you'll take a nap. If you're bored, Maybe you'll go for a walk. If you're frustrated or stressed, including exercise is also a phenomenal idea. It's what I call a win-win because environment creates the behavior. I know I'll be in my bedroom. I'm not hungry at all. I come down to my kitchen and all of a sudden I start grazing. I'm not hungry. I wasn't hungry 3 seconds ago. I'm certainly not hungry now, but I'm in my kitchen. That's where the food is. So wrong room, I've got to keep going. So when you go outside to go for a walk or you go into another room to exercise, you change your environment, you change your behavior. When you exercise, it's the number one stress reliever that we have. When you're stressed, you think from the back of the brain, the amygdala, rash, impulsive thoughts. If you're mad at somebody, wait, because you're shooting from here. When you do aerobic exercise, you physically change your thought processes. They come from the frontal lobe, the cortex, much more well thought out, less impulsive thoughts. So you'll feel better and you got a workout in. How excellent is that? It is a win-win. If you're not hungry, you could listen to music. It is a powerful mood changer. I know I hear Bruno Mars or It's Raining Men or a little Motown and I'm in a whole other place. If you're upset about something, something is getting you stuck, then call a friend. A real friend, a friend that's not a yes friend, but a friend that will really tell you like you see it. I often talk to my husband and he'll show me things from another angle, something I might not have thought of. And when you hold something in your head, it takes on a whole other world. Let it out, it sounds totally different. Language is a powerful handle by which we can better manage our emotions. So get it out, get this stress out of you. You need to use your words and talk. Sometimes when you share it with somebody else, they'll show you something. Oh, I didn't realize maybe that is what somebody meant, or that is what it just happened. If you don't have somebody to talk to, definitely say it out loud anyway. You need to get this out, or journal it. It's also a powerful tool. And keep writing and writing and writing until all your thoughts are done, and then look at your paper and you'll see your thoughts and it will give you some clarity or maybe some perspective on how better to go forward in a better way. You also can take a shower or a bath. You're trying to give yourself a time out, a pause button. You can brush your teeth. I don't think anything goes with mint toothpaste. Think of all the different things that you can do. Read a book, it's like going on a journey. So think of all of the things that you can do other than eating and construct this list so you can refer to it when you go to eat and you're not really hungry. I also want you, health is a powerful motivator. I actually think vanity is much more tangible. We tend to disconnect our neck from the rest of our bodies. So I want you to look in the mirror and see what you look like without any clothes. And then as you go through a cardiac rehab program or an exercise program, you'll be able to see the changes and you'll appreciate the changes because you're looking. One of the many benefits of exercise is that you get to feel your body and stay connected with it and see how it looks and feel how it's moving. So stay connected with you, with your feelings, with your body and how you look. This is very important for you to be mindful and to be aware of what you're doing and how you're eating. I also want you, the second thing that you need in order to be successful at making a behavior change is you really need to be committed. So no person, no place, no time of day, nothing should deter you from your goals, which are not only to get there, but to stay there. Having said that, this is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Diets don't work. If I ever said to you, you can never have what's your favorite, think about what your favorite food is that you don't think is heart healthy. Well, all you're going to be thinking about is that food. And when you get it, you're going to need to eat tons of it because once you do, once you stop, you're not going to have it for a long time. So that's why diets don't work. Let me help you to remove the stress around dieting, get rid of that on-off button, and help you to create a lifestyle change. It's consistency, not perfection, which will get you where you want to go. And this is, by the way, hard work. I'd be lying to you if I told you otherwise. It's just worth it because you're worth it. And when we talked about the connection between eating and emotions, and we talked about the rise in dopamine, I just wanted to add one more note, and that is, I want you to start to realize when you're eating that if you're ever been in a position where you've been eating, but nothing is quite hitting the notes, Do you understand now that it really had nothing to do with the food, but it had everything to do with the driver? That you were eating to raise dopamine, to self-medicate, to make yourself feel better. So stay committed to your goals. Be confident that you can make these changes, and you will certainly have a lifestyle that's much more heart healthy and well-deserved. So because it is a stressful world, let me give you some tools to put in your toolbox that will help you to get on your way. The first is called visualization. I want you all to have a seat, don't cross your legs, and to take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. Now, as you're sitting here, I'd like you to please close your eyes. And as you're sitting here with your eyes closed, I want you to let your eyelids rest heavy, let the muscles in your face relax as you take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. And take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. I want you to feel the stress at the top of your head. Let that stress drain down the back of your head. Let it drain down your neck, across to your shoulders. Let it drain down your arms, across your elbows, down your forearms. Let that stress drain across your palms to the end of your fingertips, and let that stress drain out. And now that you're sitting here, I want you to take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. And let your thighs rest heavy against the chair. Don't hold your stomach in, let your stomach muscles relax. As you take a nice deep breath in and blow it out. And as you're sitting here, I want you to feel the stress at the top of your head. Let that stress drain down the back of your head, down your neck to your spine, down your spine to the small of your back. Let it travel across your hips, across your thighs, over your kneecaps. Let it travel down your calves to the bottom of your feet, and let that stress drain out. And now that that stress has left your body, I want you to visualize you at your goal weight. And if you are at your goal weight, I want you to imagine you doing something that you love to do. And I want you to get every detail of this image locked in your mind. Take a good close look at it. How do you look at your goal weight? How does your body look? What are you wearing while at your goal weight? How do you look in what you're wearing? How do you feel while at your goal weight? What's the expression on your face? I want you to get every detail of this image locked in your mind. How you look, how your body looks while at its goal weight, at what you're wearing and how you look in what you're wearing, and how you feel. What's the expression on your face while at your goal weight? And when you have every detail of that image locked in your mind, then you can open your eyes. And I always want to know, what were you wearing at your goal weight? For me, I'm always in a bathing suit because it shows everything. So while it's easy to get caught up in the stress of everyday life and to forget why it is that you're doing this takes less than a minute. Close your eyes, picture you at your goal weight in whatever the outfit is or doing whatever it is that you are doing, and ask yourself, does that food in front of you get you closer to that image? And if the answer is yes, there's your answer. If the answer is no, there's your answer. So it will help you to stay on track. Visualization is a powerful tool. Another tool is a hard copy of a picture. So my daughter has a picture of her on our fridge when she thought she looked fabulous. Why not? She cut out from a magazine a picture of a woman in a bathing suit who she doesn't know, who she thinks looks horrific. She put her on the inside of our cupboard. When she goes to eat, she opens up the cupboard, she looks at this woman, she says, "Oh my gosh, what was she thinking? Nothing could have tasted that good." And it just snaps her back. So a hard copy of a picture, that's another tool for you. A third is a mantra. My son is an athlete, very competitive, loves basketball. No way is he going to let the person on the other team get to the other end of the court before he does. 27 years old, I can put him in front of pizza, chips, soda, won't touch it. Why? It's not that he doesn't like it, but it's not doing for him what he needs it to do. When you eat too much, how do you feel? Don't you feel slow? It slows you down. You feel a little bloated, distended, loggy, and that's not going to work for him on a court. And if you have too much weight, unless you're Vince Wilfork, it also slows you down. So his mantra, no junk in my trunk, or I have to refuel my machine. Nothing enters his body which he considers to be his temple that isn't going to do for him what it needs it to do. For me, I love clothes. So my mantra, Twinkie or couture, Armani wins every time. I don't want to not be able to wear an outfit because I can't at that weight or it doesn't look good at a certain weight. So oftentimes I'll be driving and I'll go like this. If I feel a little lump, a little roll, I'll say, uh-oh, time to get back on track. And it will just remind me so I don't get too far off. Use whatever your goal is to help you to reach your goals. So think about visualization, a hard copy of a picture, and a mantra. Now, I want to share with you a story of a patient that I had. She liked to be in charge. If I said to her, you know what's missing for you? It's the exercise piece. Well, that would have come from me and not from her. So she would have dug in her heels and we wouldn't have gone anywhere. So she found a book called Who Moved My Cheese? The cheese being a metaphor for stress in life. The idea is that we all have it, but how we handle it dictates who we are and how we navigate. Some people never see it. My son, every day I say to him, how was your day? And he says to me, great. Well, you know every day can't be great, but he just doesn't allow it to filter in. Others, I'm sure you know, hold on for dear life, and there are others who see it, acknowledge it, and go right around. She said, age is really a state of mind, more than a number. I know young people who are old in their thinking, not able to learn new ideas. I know old people who are very young in their thinking, who are very open to new ideas. So she said, at this stage in my life, I don't have to do something because that's how I always did it. That's old. I can make new cheese, which means for her, forge new pathways, try new things. How awesome is that? All of a sudden, the doors to the gym swung open. All of a sudden, she would try new foods. Every day, she would try new foods, and every day, she would forge new cheese. This is exactly what I want for you because you got the mulligan. So let me ask you to do a few things. Because you like you, I want you to please take the time to pre-plan your meals. Pre-planning is key to success. Take the people who eat haphazardly throughout the day, they get into trouble. So this doesn't have to be rigid, but it does have to have legs. It does have to have a framework. So I want you to think, where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? And then what am I going to do for food? Am I bringing it with me? Am I ordering in or ordering out? What am I going to do? And don't make this a test of willpower. Get rid of anything in your house that doesn't have to be there and make sure you have the right foods on hand. What you're doing is you're setting yourself up for success. I also want you to set what's called SMART goals. They're goals that are specific. They're measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So if exercise, for example, is a goal of yours, and you say, I'm going to exercise 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, well, that might not be a realistic or attainable goal. If you just say, I'm going to exercise, well, how do you know you did it? So this has to be very specific, measurable, and realistic as well as attainable. So it might be, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week for 35 minutes each time. If it's a dietary goal, perhaps I'm going to include 3 food servings, 3 whole grain servings every day for the next 3 weeks. Should you achieve your goal, which now is very clear, very specific, and very measurable, I want you to have a non-food item with which you can reward yourself. Now, you can't get it unless you earn it. Maybe it's a book you've been wanting to read or a movie you've been wanting to see, but you can't get it unless you earn it. And once you do, set a new goal. It will help you to stay engaged and to stay on track. So utilize these tools, put them in your toolbox, a visualization, a hard copy of a picture, a mantra, pre-plan your meals, track your intake. There are some terrific apps out there. They're all free. My favorite is Lose It. I also love MyFitnessPal, Rate Your Plate by the CDC. Use these. They will help you to stay on track and to reach your dietary goals.